Um, okay, so as you guys can see, this is our 25 core team deliverables. I actually wanted to jump in and kind of go a little bit backwards, kind of start at the bottom, because sometimes we end up losing a little bit of attention as we go through this. So I'm going to start with Max, Constantine, Brian, and Tom. Today we are at the 13th, so we're just a little shy of 50% across the board, but it looks like some of you guys are in actually pretty good shape. So let's see, Max, are you on the call?
No, Max was not going to make it today.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Constantine, I think I saw you.
Yeah.
You want to run us through your deliverables?
Mm-hmm. I'm working mostly on solving concurrency problems, and right now it's fixed and it's about 100%. Second is launch epoch synchronization. We're working with both. It's still in progress, and I believe it's about 50%. And third is visualization of our metrics, and currently I'm asking questions how to do it best, and I think that 50% is best for this.
Good. Is there anything that you can foresee that would prevent you from accomplishing all of your deliverables by the end of the month? Anything that you could ask for a little bit of help?
No, I believe I do all and more.
I imagine. I mean, that's our team, right? Everything and more. All right, thank you. Brian, why don't you give us a little heads up about what you're working on? Your metrics tracking, your NFT minting, and Web 2, and what's the offering there? I saw Brian.
There we go. Okay, now we're talking. Yeah, for metrics tracking, I'm basically gathering all of the data that everybody else, that the team had gathered for May, and basically getting logins and trying to see, how it can be accessible, how it's been done, so that way it could be consistent for, every month, and how we can show month over month and year over year. And then I'm going to be working with Boris in order to see what can be automated, via pull from API or and things like that. So that's going really well. The mobile NFT minting is basically Eric, who's working on the on one wallet. A goal is to, by August, not by July, but by August 1st, to have some user-facing NFT minting in-app capability there. So I've been talking with him. I've been talking with Z, and created a sort of a project management sheet as to what needs to be done by then. And the question is what kind of resources and team are we going to be able to have to do it? As far as the offering for Web 2 games to migrate on chain, I've done all the research and have created, a possible offering of what we could offer to get more games on chain in terms of onboarding and things like that. But basically, I'm waiting to see from the team and getting feedback as to what we actually are committed to providing, rather than what's the possible universe of what we could provide.
Excellent. So really quickly on that point, I know that there's a lot of work being done for crystallizing our value proposition to the game space. I think what may help, and Peter, you can back me up if you think that this is a good idea, is that we have a very brief call sometime this afternoon, sometime tomorrow, for those people who are interested in participating in this, because I fear that we have too many things in too many pots right now. And we kind of want to bring it all in the same direction. So that, for example, my case study on DFK contributes nicely, Brian, to your work on Web 2, what's our value prop for Web 2s moving on chain, and just making sure it all starts moving smoothly, and we'll create a little bit of a game guild, so to speak. It's almost like it was discussed before. It's been discussed, yeah. So, and then Brian, currently you're about, what is that, 120%? Do you need any help to make sure you get up to 150% or hit these deliverables by the end of the month, or you feel pretty confident?
I will know more about the mobile NFT minting once I can see what Timeless has in store by way of resources, and the other two metrics are going to depend on what kind of signal I can get from core team members.
Fantastic, fantastic. And it looks like our boy Lee is in there making some modifications to your deliverables. By the way, you have a brand new deliverable that Lee's giving you. It's, I don't know, it was a joke there. Tom, let's talk a little bit about recruiting, the offline events for the blockchain week, and about the virtual speaker system. Did I see Tom?
Yeah, for recruiting, Stephen asked to recruit 10 core members before Q3. So it's we want to deliver a positive message to the community. We're still hiring. The bear market actually is the best time to hire good people. Mm-hmm. Some other protocol, they are lay off, a lot of they're in trouble.
Yeah, so yeah, that's great.
Our openings are listed on our career page.
Excellent.
jobslever.com/harmony. So currently, the only one business position, hire manager is a marketing lead. So we have about 70 resumes. We screen down to 6 resumes and give and reviewed. Now we have 2 candidates in the interview process. We set up interview this week. I think I have already scheduled a calendar invite to give. Maybe can find already Thursday, I think. Give can check the calendar. Yeah.
So how are we doing with the Stanford Blockchain Week?
Yes. So, but we already got a free space in the Palo Alto downtown. There's a company want to give me let us use their space for free, and we plan using some catering food, so much lower, like maybe $25 per person. We cut the cost.
Right.
And also, I joined the ex-Googler group, so I think this quality this will be good. Yeah.
And what's the key objective for those events? Are these recruiting events?
Yeah. The event is actually Harmony is doing the decentralized marketing, and so basically like TGIs, this type of event, they are the same things. They can do recruiting, they can do messaging and community relations, and they'll get partnerships. So this is the key of like why Harmony is successful, because of the event. It's very non-stop, every weekly, and sometimes every Saturday.
Right. It's really how we get in contact with a really good.
We can engage some speakers for the November's one conference. So we need to engage early.
Yeah. Do you have anybody from the erstwhile events team that is helping you with this?
Not at this moment. After in October, I will ask Asa and Matt for help. At this moment, only I find the space and find the catering companies already. The food location is done. Free space.
Right.
The cost is can be controlled.
And how are you doing with the virtual speaker series?
Yes, this one is with targeted schedules in this coming Saturday. But the Google president, ex-president Kai-Fu Lee visit, so I make it an offline event. So I borrow a house in Atherton. My friend gave me his house for free. So I invited one Coinbase VP Michael, Circle CTO Fan, and A16 partner Connie, and the GGV partner Hans, and the ex-Tencent VP. So, and also this event I want to maybe ask Lee to help. We can like we do quarterly fundraising, but not like very evident. It's just mix a mingle and say we are fundraising. Yeah.
Yeah. So
these people can be a speaker for one conference too. These are very high-end quality people.
Great.
Because without Kai-Fu Lee, it's hard to attract them.
Let's move on. Looks good. Looks like you're pulling stuff together. Let's move on to I'm not going to pronounce this right, and my apologies. Geese on the call. You're on mute there, Give.
Sorry, I was just saying Kais is
Guys.
in Singapore, I think. So he's
No.
probably
Yeah,
asleep.
not going to be on the call. All right. Well, so with those, a couple of updates from the core team, I actually would love to turn it over. And Ganesha, if you have a moment, would you talk to us a little bit about how the trustless Ethereum bridge is coming along, a little bit about what the impact you think it's going to bring, and really, a little bit about why it's such a big deal for us and the ecosystem.
Sure. I think for the impact, I recommend listening to the audio that Lee shared last week in the office. We already went through it for more than an hour, I think. That summarizes pretty well. But progress-wise, we are making good progress. Still, I'm looking at the proposed dates. Just here and there off, but mostly there. For example, the main task being like MMR hard fork. Shopong has finished the initial round and it's currently under review. I request RJ, Leo to also help with the review to expedite and try to push it to testnet this week. But it's already available for local end testing. So myself and another person is working on finishing end-to-end local testing. That was supposed to be last week, but we'll finish. We'll try to get through this week. That is one thing. And on the other front, we were exploring 3 different solutions, like I talked in last Wednesday in the office, for making this completely trustless launch instead of having to rely on like a trusted relayer. Out of which one of them is near to complete. That's like a BLS verification smart contract. Samer was helping on that. The particular contract is very gas expensive, like 9 million gas to submit and verify a header, but it's still not bad because we only have to do these header verification less often. So that is but it's the beauty that brings is like it makes the whole bridge completely trustless. So we will try to finish that part. Meanwhile, Aaron is also trying to see if we can incorporate zero knowledge to expedite this whole verification. So those are on track. And the third thing that we were exploring there was using Intel SGX to secure the relay part. So all 3 of them will be kind of explored and finalized maybe by end of this week, or at least mid of next week. So that we can like make a closure on that part and kind of like announce internally what will be our trustless launch will include. And yeah, apart from that, there are some minor, a few other places where we could use your help, like you announced. We are planning to roll out new front ends for Horizon and Bitcoin Bridge. There, if you guys can just use it, and any issues that you guys find, if you can directly create tickets, Yuri and team can quickly fund through and fix all those issues. And we want to like push these front ends as soon as out as soon as possible. So any help will be appreciated there. And towards maybe end of this week or early next week, I may start asking you guys to also participate in some of the testing of this new bridge, trustless bridge.
That's exciting.
Yeah, and yeah, it's going smoothly. And there's several other tasks that Boris and others also helping. Also, Bruce on one of the major PRs is also trying to finish. Yeah, that's an update. And the importance already, like in the document mentioned, we want to secure the current bridge assets and also enable like a new bridge, a bridging of new assets. We want to like although the market downwards trending, we still see a lot of transaction, at least like even in these conditions, 50 to 100 transfers happening over the bridge, just from the Ethereum. And the Binance, if you include, it's still like close to 200 to 250 transfers daily. So it's a substantial. So we want to like keep improving this and give a better experience, optimize the cost. That's where this bridge upgrade is very important. Yeah, that's about it.
Good. All right, let's see. Leo, if you have a second, do you want to talk to us a little about the Elastic RPC?
Okay, so Elastic RPC, we did a launch last week, and we get up to 10% of the share zero traffic. But then we found a problem with our DB wasn't initialized properly. Then the DB was stuck for some of the block. So we have to revert to the launch to the original RPC. And then the bug was fixed in a few days. And then now we relaunched the Elastic RPC on share zero, taking 10% of the traffic now. And so that's why markets are down 20%. But we plan to bump it to 30% of the traffic in the next 2 days. And then hopefully this time, I mean, we already tested the function and the Elastic scaled up, scaled down, all works fine. But since we found the problem last week, right, so we reverted back. So the goal, actually, my goal is to have a 50% actually fully on the Elastic RPC by end of this week. That will really can finish this the milestone early. If we can make it further by end of the month, we will do that. But I think 50% is a very good amount of the traffic, and then we let it run for some time so that we can safely shut down more of the original node to saving the cost further. Yeah.
Excellent. Sounds great. So talking about saving costs, Lee, do you have a second to give us a bit of an update? Talking a little bit maybe about treasury, a little bit about operations.
Sure. So yeah, thanks, Sam. As I wrote there, I think we're becoming very thoughtful and of course very transparent with what we're spending on. So everyone can go look at the May and June budget. Obviously, Leo's already written there and talked about on Wednesday about getting our cloud costs down significantly, which will be very important because you know, obviously we don't want to we want to be smart about our resources there. So we're planning out both the Q3, both the June and Q3 budget. So basically the way to, you know, without getting into all the details, but I'll offer to anybody on the team who wants to talk to me on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the office this week, just come by and we can go through any specific item. If you're remote, let me know if you want to talk through any specific item. We could, I was thinking of even having maybe like one office hour later this week for people to ask any questions about this. But we are, yeah, so we definitely need to think about how to basically conserve resources now, but make investments in the core areas that we think still have high impact. So the other thing that we're working on with Give as well is just thinking about July and how to kind of essentially focus our resources, and instead of spreading too thin, focus more on specific verticals and where we can drive impact deliverable, specifically like on-chain transactions and launches with partners, right? And getting on-chain utility, because that's the thing that will grow over time. Again, that's why we start tracking all the metrics and things and all those items. So for the team, yeah, we can go through any of the specific details, not on this call, but in a smaller setting with the internal team. So yeah, let me know.
That'll be good. That'll be good. So because we touched on this pretty quickly earlier when we were talking with Tom, talking with Brian, I thought I'd bring up a little bit more about games. So just really quickly, Peter, do you have a few seconds to talk about the Game Guild, studio partnerships, the fact that you get to go to New York this week?
Yeah, it's next week, by the way.
Is it?
No, it's good. Yeah, I think we're mobilizing our team. I think we have 6 work streams that we're very focused on. That's pretty well balanced, all in aim of partnering with studios with titles that are ready to put on chain. And with the help of Leo and Brian, they're helping us with creating an offering for Web 2 devs as well as Web 3 devs that are interested in building GameFi apps on chain. And Maddie is helping, and Maddie and Flu are helping evaluate inbound flow grant proposals that are game and GameFi specific. Maddie, he created an inventory of games that are currently building on Harmony with their mainnet launch dates. And so we're going to be working with each of those projects to make sure that they have what they need for go-to-market, as well as staggering when they do launch, so that we don't cannibalize the same audience for multiple games, so that each mainnet launch of a game or GameFi and Harmony will have some ample room to breathe before the next one launches. So that's kind of a rough outline. Sam is helping us to operationalize our daily stand-ups with the team. And as far as actual deliverables for me, I have committed to closing one studio partnership this month, and we're in the process now of creating an announcement for that. It's with a small studio out of China, but the founder is a 36-year veteran in gaming, and so he's going to function. He's going to be able to help us in multiple ways. Number one, of course, is getting games on Harmony that he has access to. But he's also going to work as a mentor of sorts for developers that are building on Harmony, because of his long experience in gaming and relationships in the industry. He can help us a lot with, and also he can help developers with how they build the game, mechanism design, game mechanics, that type of thing. So quite excited about that. Yeah, so a couple of us will be going to NFT NYC on the 19th. And I am lining up meetings, one-on-one meetings with a bunch of potential partners. Potential is the key word there. And so these are kind of relationship building meetings, out of which I'm hoping that we create some good synergies and hopefully a formal partnership with a couple of them. And the target for these are NFT projects that are interested in building a game layer for their NFTs. And so if you can think of NFT projects in the Ethereum ecosystem that are interested in building a game aspect to their NFTs. And so their NFTs could still be on Ethereum, but the actual game will be on Harmony, is the kind of the target.
Smart. That's smart. So they don't need to bridge the NFT over from Ethereum. It's just a verifying that they own it using, I think it's Leo's iToken, and then they're able to gamify that IP.
That's the idea. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. So Sam, I can also provide a little bit more updates.
Mm-hmm.
So we assembled the first game SDK engineering team meeting last week. So we are onboarding two more engineers for the game SDK development. So also the iToken, we received actually quite a lot of a new application from the community, start to get more traction now.
It's really good. Yeah, no, I'm very excited about it. I've been excited about the iToken for a long time, so I'm glad to see it getting more and more traction.
Well,
quickly,
I failed to mention one thing. Leo will be speaking at NFT NYC also. And we'll be working really closely with his game shard and kind of like SDK initiatives. So
Exciting. So Peter, you're almost up there, you're 220% or so. Does that mean once you finish the last 80%, you're just going to take a nap for the rest of June? Is that your plan?
no.
Come on, we know you have kids. Okay, let's pop over really quickly since we talked a bit about NFT NYC. Essa, are you able to give us just a really brief overview of any events or anything that we're doing over the next little while?
Hey, Sam, this is Garrick. Essa's not here
Garrick.
today, but I can provide some updates.
Perfect.
So yeah, really excited for New York. I'm actually going to be getting there on the 17th to meet up with a couple of our local events team members and focus on sourcing local decor and a lot of merchandise and marketing tools and resources to cut down on a lot of our shipping costs. I say my biggest goal for the month was to help redefine budget proposals and just help reduce overall event costs by about 60%. So far, we are actually on track to exceed that metric, and we've reduced costs by about 65% for the event so far. And we are mainly doing that by supplementing additional sponsors and partners. We've raised a significant chunk of about half of our event budget cutbacks through the sponsor programs in general. And they're also adding a lot of additional brand recognition value and marketing value. Some great projects that I think actually could even provide some synergy to Peter's point a second ago. A lot of Ethereum-based NFT projects that are looking to build GameFi projects, and I'm excited to shepherd those opportunities to Harmony. And then, yeah, I think my main deliverable for the month other than that is also to flush out that sponsorship kind of playbook and just mainly execute for New York in general. We already have 1,600 people registered for our Eventbrite, and yeah, we're really excited. We haven't even started the marketing push yet through our sponsors. The first Twitter Spaces room is tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
All right, sounds good. So I'm going to go ahead and pause there as far as the individual updates. I know I was bouncing around from person to person. We're officially at 11:30 Pacific time now. And before we go into breakout rooms, I just wanted to open it up a little bit of an open floor for specific questions to somebody else. I know sometimes we all want to say, hey, by the way, I'm also working on something cool. That's awesome. And we all know that you are. But for this little bit of all hands, I'd love to see a specific question from one person to another person. And you guys can go ahead and fire away whenever anybody has a question. Just raise your old hand in the Zoom meeting. Maddie looks like he has a very important question. No, he doesn't. He's just wearing a hat.
I want to ask Maddie what he did with the rat. He knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I live out near the country, and it's quite common to have, mice, rats kind of in the area. So we had pest control come out a year ago, and it's been about that long. So I found one in my cat's food bin. I don't know how it got inside. It's covered with a lock mechanism, and it found its way in. So I trapped him and I set him free, but I have to have pest control come and make sure that doesn't happen again. That's not what you want to see at 3 a.m.
Well, I mean, don't judge, man. Some people may really like to see that at 3 o'clock in the morning. Awesome. All right, then, if there aren't any other pressing questions for other members of the team, I will set up some breakout rooms so you guys can chat and get together. I want to encourage everybody at this time. We know that we are still in war mode. We know that we are still working really hard. One of the things that I encourage everyone to do is just keep your head up, keep your chin up, keep building, keep working. The people who have been through these bear markets before know that this is the time to build. because we are literally just shoving the rocket fuel into the rocket. And when it comes time to launch it, it's just going to blow up. So keep the faith, my friend. This is great. All right. Actually, you're in charge here, so you need to
I've got it.
slap us into some breakout rooms. But always good to see you guys.
Bye, everyone. Have a good week.
Bye, guys.